Genesis chapter 10, the nations spread, and God's plan grows from one family to many nations. Welcome back to our journey through Genesis. Today we explore Genesis chapter 10, a chapter full of names, lineages, and places. At first glance, it may seem like just a family tree, but if we slow down, we'll see something powerful. This is the foundation of the nations, and a reminder that God's plan spans the whole earth. Let's dive in. After the flood, humanity begins again with Noah's 3 sons, Japheth and Shem. Each of them becomes the father of nations that will spread across the known world. Let's look at what came from each line. From Japheth came the peoples of the coastlands, the early ancestors of Europe and parts of Asia. Think of names like Gomer, Magog, Javan, and Tarshish. These became the great Gentile nations. From Ham came mighty civilizations, Egypt, Canaan, Cush, and Babylon. His descendants settled in Africa and the Middle East. One name stands out, Nimrod, a mighty warrior who built cities like Babel and Nineveh. From Shem, the line of God's promise continues. Shem's descendants include Eber, the ancestor of the Hebrews. From Shem will come Abraham, Israel, and eventually Jesus. This chapter lists 70 nations, a symbol of completeness. It shows us that God didn't forget any people group. Every tribe, every tongue, every nation has a place in His story. Genesis 10 is the beginning of diversity, and yet it reminds us we are all connected. All nations came from one family, and all nations are still part of God's global purpose. So what can we take away from Genesis 10? God is the God of all nations. Every person, every culture, every family line matters to Him. And even in long lists of names, God is working out His plan. This chapter sets the stage for what's coming next. The rise of human pride at Babel, and God's scattering of the people. But here in Genesis 10, we see a simple truth. You may be one name among many, but you are not forgotten by God. He knows where you came from, and He knows exactly where you're going. Thanks for watching today's video on Genesis chapter 10. Drop a comment with which nation or name stood out to you, and don't forget to like and subscribe to help us to continue. Next up, Genesis chapter 11, the Tower of Babel and the scattering of humanity. Until then, remember, God's plan includes every nation, and it includes you.